That is the Corps of Engineer stuff that I've been telling you about, that we just did the SWIFT program to buy us 2 more years on.
And you have a letter from the Corps, Your Honor, and the council. I'll put that in front of you, that the St. Paul folks are going to, they've recommended that we be put in the SWIFT program.
Which is awesome.
Which is great for us, but we have to show progress. If we don't show progress, then they'll kick you out of the program, you don't have to do it all immediately. But if you look at it with this in 13 and 14 with 43, there's no time to waste.
2 years is going to go by really fast, and I would tell you that I do plan on applying for a SWIFT again, because I do think the time that we have on the next 2 projects that the state's putting on our plate is going to burn a lot of our time. Are we going to stay at that project for the Corps? Absolutely.
Again, though, if we're showing reasonable progress, chances are the SWIFT will be renewed. There's some cities that have been in this for 10 years. It just renews, but they have to make progress. The other thing is a lot of the areas that they said were marginal for us and we were getting a pass, those are going to have deteriorated by the time they do the inspection in 2 years, and then they're going to be on the report and we're going to have to fix them.
And just so you know, what you have in front of you is not marginal. Those are you will fixes. Those are unacceptables, every one of them.
And
yes.
And some of them are just, clear brush. I mean, it's not like every single one of them is you got to divert the river or anything crazy like that. So
our major ones are probably pipes separated on the storm, cracking a retaining wall that has to be cut out and repaired, flop gates that need to have some attention. This is not maintenance. These are things that have to be fixed. The maintenance is still on top of this.
You're figuring that where you say the city, and then on the next column you're saying that's what it would cost by a contractor.
If the city, one you'll see it says city, that means the city can do it. The next one that says contractor says that that's what we would want a contractor to do it.
There's a lot of work by contractors.
Yes, there is.
So, at our last meeting, Jeff, you stated that we had, for doing this, that we had a certain amount, a dollar amount, was it $500,000 or $600,000?
About 600,000 we're requesting from the DNR.
DNR. And you stated that by us doing that, that we could reduce that cost to maybe half or something.
Yeah, about 231, I believe, 231,000 is what we can do.
So we're gonna be, our next inspection in 2 years, if we get in the SWIFT program?
We'll get an inspection this August.
This August.
Yes.
we just had them this year.
They'll
This
have
one
one.
for 2 years.
They'll have one this August.
The annual.
Yeah, because we have to prove
Oh, the
Progress.
progress. It's not. It shouldn't be as in depth as the one that we just had.
Okay, but if we're in the SWIFT program, essentially, we got, I understand we have to show progress, but we're gonna draw down this 600,000 over the course of 2 years, or 300,000 of it over the course of 2 years. Is there any timeline that we have to take it by? Because it was my understanding that we're going to be, by saving that money, it's gonna give us money to do
The
future
next one.
projects when they get red flagged.
that's what we hope, yes.
That's what we
So,
hope for.
I guess what I'm asking, is there any problem with us drawing down that fund over 3 years or 4 years?
I honestly don't know.
Or is
if
there a
we're gonna-
timeline that we have to use it by?
I honestly don't know the answer to that, because I don't even know if we've got the okay from the DNR to get that money. That's something I know that you've been having a conversation with them on.
We've got an ongoing drawdown now for the levy work, and we have to get all those numbers in line to see what's left to pay them back, and then add this onto it.
And that's the hope, and Kathy's been working that really hard, is that they'll add back on to that and not start over again. If they continue to add to it, it's kind of a revolving deal from the state. And again, if we're showing progress, plus we're showing that we're doing some of this in-house, we think it'll show the DNR good faith and they'll extend that money out. And then when the 2 years is up and we're on it again, it'll be more favorable to get it again. Because there's a lot of cities that aren't doing any of this stuff. And the state is gonna just say, you're on your own. You wanted to wait? Okay, you waited, now do it.
Remember when we got the DNR grant for the levy system, we had to come up with $620,000 of our own money to get that money.
Yeah.
But our hope is to piggyback off of that money. If they say no, in the last 90,000 Kathy has to turn in on that project, they say, all right, we're gonna close that project out. And then we ask for another 600,000 to do the work that we wanna get done here, or 300,000, depending on what we ask for. And they say, all right, but that project's closed out, we're gonna go ahead and give you that 300,000, but you gotta pay this percentage. We're trying to avoid that by trying to piggyback onto the existing money to not have to pay that out.
Right.
Once it's allocated to us, it, just like the other one, where if you show progress and if you continue to draw down regularly, they don't ever say, hurry up, spend the money. They just say, are you still working on it? And you say, yep, submit for some more money, and then they're okay, so.
And I went to a meeting in
Just keep it
Rochester,
live.
and they did get more money, so we're hoping, that's when I asked them right out, I said, can we get 600,000 more? Now, just cause I asked for it doesn't mean we're gonna get it, I mean, we have to go through the right channels and all that, and see if we get it. But that's, at least we got the ball rolling, and see if we can get it.
They didn't just cut you a check
No,
when you asked?
I asked.
Probably bounced.
Just give you a little duffel bag, just,
Oh, they had, was it 20 million in the bonding bill? They paid 20 something million in the bonding bill, and that leveraged some federal money. So again, it goes up the food chain. We're leveraging our money with the state money, the state's leveraging it with federal money.
And keep in mind, these projects that I'm putting in front of you, we don't have the money in the budget to pay for it.
Which brings us to that man.
Right.
And those labor expenses, and which is the reason why I'm not for it. Appreciate the information and the background on this, and I think it highlights exactly what the council has been talking about for the last couple of years, and that is to get a sense of the entire workflow, what's coming down the pike, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years from now, so that we have a better sense of how do we plan for it, how do we stay ahead of the game instead of constantly going back to or just every year just automatically saying to the citizens, well, we needed to do this, so and this is how much it costs, so you gotta pay it. You don't like that. I know you don't like that. I don't like it. No citizen does like it. So I think, as I mentioned, I think this is an opportunity for us to really develop those kinds of plans, and at the same time working with the administrator and his performance evaluations and the work plans and the workflow. If we can study this out for 6 months, maybe by then we'll all have a really good sense of exactly what it is that we need, and exactly what we need to accomplish everything in the least amount of
I completely disagree. What the staff what the staff has just done here is laid out a plan. This is what we need to do. Add on another full-time employee. Give us the tools we need to do the job.